Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today for our slanted lens product review, we got a couple of cases from Lens Pro to go. We're going to take a look at the new Nikon D810. Pretty exciting for me because this camera really is the competitor to the Mark III. It eclipses the Mark III in several different ways. So let's take a look at some of the things that it does. The reality with this camera for me is, obviously Canon and Nikon are kind of going back and forth, bouncing back and forth, trying to stay ahead of one another. You got the 800 that came out, that was a great camera. This is not revolutionary as much as it's just kind of an evolution to their next sense of moving up. But they've done some great things to this camera to be able to make it really match the video industry and the video world. So the footage I've seen thus far, as you look at these two next to each other, as far as the Mark III versus the Canon 810, this camera, it's a higher megapixel camera, so it's got an incredible CMOS chip, full frame chip in it, 36 megapixels I believe, where I think the Mark III is 22. So it's a much higher megapixel camera. It has a great ISO, and as far as the quality, it's very high ISO for high levels. You do get a lot of that jello-y thing because of that. You kind of lose some things. They took one of the filters off from the CMOS chip, and it gives you a little bit more of that jello sense. But all of that aside, it kind of boils down to two thoughts for me. If I've invested my life into the equipment and the lenses, I'm not going to switch to Nikon just because they jumped ahead of Canon right now. Canon's going to catch up. But if I'm in Nikon, I've got nothing to lose with this camera. You really don't. It's a great piece of equipment, and the images look excellent. So that's what we're going to go to. I want to look at the images. If I shoot video with this versus I shoot video with the Mark III, let's put those side by side. We're going to put Spencer in a fire suit, a little bit of smoke, blue sky background, shoot a little video with both of those, and just see how they both look with flesh tones, smoke, and blue sky, and just see how that compares with the 810 versus the Mark III. Here's our Nikon D810. We're going to shoot at 100 ISO and daylight. We're going to take a look at just how it holds up. You know, there's a lot of detail. This chip has a tremendous amount of detail. It's just a gorgeous look there. It's a little on the green side, whereas you see with the Mark III, it's a little more on the orange side, or a little more magenta. But the D810 has nice contrast, has an incredible amount of detail, even though you can't see a thing when the smoke's covering the guy up. But it really has great detail. I think it's beating out the Mark III a little bit when it comes to detail. Now let's go to a higher ISO, a little more of a low light situation. We're at 1250 ISO with a tungsten light balance. You just see the sweat dripping off from my assistant's face as he's in that little costume there. Again, you have the same scenarios there. You have a little nicer detail in the D810. You have a little bit on the green side. The Mark III is a little more on the magenta side, but just does not quite have the detail that D810 has in the image. I think the image on the Nikon D810 really wins out. It looks very good. All right, we're going to really push our ISO up now. We're going to go to 6400 ISO. We're still in that white balance of tungsten, but boy, this chip is alive. There's a lot of dancing going around in all of the dark areas. Now when we go to the Mark III, I'm not seeing near as much noise in those shadow areas. I mean, take a look at that. That chip for the Nikon D810 is just alive. It's a lot of noise at 6400. The Mark III is holding up a lot better, You're getting a very nice contrast. You're getting a lot of great detail in the D810, but the noise level is just a little, it's too much in my sense in comparison. Mark III definitely wins out on this level. And who's that knucklehead that got into the picture there?